Japanese calligraphy is not easy. It requires patience, undivided attention, and perseverance. Sometimes you write the same thing over and over again and see little improvement. That's normal. You just have to keep practicing. Repetition is key. After hundreds, if not thousands of repetitions, then you will start to see the calligraphy come alive. The worst thing about calligraphy is not how long it takes to get good at it, or the strokes, or the different scripts, or the fact that we are writing in a completely different language. No. The worst thing about calligraphy is the cleanup. See, when you begin to practice, your table looks like this, pretty clean, not much going on here. But after a few minutes, it looks like this. You got paper everywhere, you have the exemplar you're following, books you're referencing, ink over here, ink bottle, brushes, you might be using more than one brush, and this is all fine while you're in the zone, but when you're done, you gotta clean this mess. The setup and cleanup of your workstation is the #1 reason most students don't practice. Most of us don't have a lot of time to dedicate to practicing calligraphy. And on top of that, we have to add, I don't know how long it takes to set this whole thing up and clean it back up again. Trust me, I've been dealing with this my whole life, and I still do. And this is the reason why sometimes I don't practice calligraphy. However, over the years, I've gotten better about it and have developed a few strategies that have helped me cut down the time and effort that it takes to break down my workstation. So in this video, I would like to share with you some tips that will make it easier for you to set up and clean up your workstation so that you can spend more time practicing calligraphy. #1 is to have a table that you only use for calligraphy practice. I use this table that I built a few years ago. When I'm not practicing calligraphy, it sits here mostly empty. However, my felt, my container with ink is always here at the ready. So when I'm ready to practice, all I have to do is grab my brush, pour some ink, and I'm ready to go. If you don't have a dedicated table, this is going to be hard because that means every time you want to practice, you have to set it all up and then put everything away. The least tools that you have to set up and put away every time, the easier it is. I know it's not easy to have a table that you don't use at all, except when you want to practice calligraphy, but it doesn't have to be big. A small table or even a side table will do just fine. #2 is that once you are all set up, meaning you have everything you need, your exemplar, paper, brush, ink, you're ready to go. Make sure that you have a paper bag next to you. In this paper bag, you're going to put all the paper that you are throwing away, and you're going to do that instantly. So here, I finished writing a piece, I don't like it, I'm gonna throw it away. So I go and I put it in the paper bag instantly. This way, all the used discarded paper don't begin to clutter your workspace. Now, when you're done, all you have to do is throw the paper bag away in the recycling bin, or do what I do, which is I use it to start my fire pit or my fireplace. Now for the sheets that you do want to save, those I stack neatly on the edge of my table. Now make sure that you use another sheet of paper, or I use newspaper, and I put those in between because the ink is wet and it can bleed onto the other papers. When I'm done, I just leave them there to dry. #3 is to keep the ink in a container that you can close with a lid. I use this one that's specific for Shodo. However, you can use any plastic Tupperware as long as you can put a lid on. The key is that when you're done practicing, all you have to do is put the lid and the ink won't dry. If you want to get one of these, there's a link down in the description for one that you can pick up on Amazon. So when I'm done practicing, I have my trash here. I have the pieces that I want to keep stay here. I have the ink closed with a lid, and I can just put my exemplar away and everything else stays where it is. All I have to do now is clean my brush, which leads to #4, which is to have a place where you can hang up your brush immediately after cleaning it. As soon as I finish cleaning my brush, I hang it in here to let it dry, and it stays there until I need it again. And that's it. That's what I do to minimize the hassle of having to set up, break down, and clean up my work area every time I want to practice calligraphy. And this has increased my ability to practice more often and consistently. Let me know in the comments down below if this video was helpful, and if you have any tips that you would like to share with me, I'd love to hear it. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching, everybody.